that Louisville has now released their updated NCAA notice of allegations. They have tacked on to the already existing notice of allegations going back to the Rick Pitino situation. They have now tacked on level 2 charges related to Dino Gaudio's situation. I just keep using the word situation because that's the best
situation
way
works,
to sum it up. Where there is a potential charge that is being levied against Chris Mack, where, long story short, Chris Mack did play himself. He is now facing NCAA trouble. Louisville is not like, the NCAA is toothless. We know that they're not going to do anything. I think like what has got to be so disheartening for Louisville fans, and we have Mike Rutherford coming on the show a little later to talk. I'm joking.
Sorry, Mike.
What is so disheartening, and what is almost not, it's not worse than NCAA violations, but like where Louisville fans have probably arrived with all this is like the bad PR continues. Like I think if you're a Louisville fan, you're just at a point where you're like, for the love of God, can we get one headline that's not like, this is bad for Louisville?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
And the answer is no. Another bad headline for Louisville, and that's pretty much it. Tate, is that the Pitino era is not even put to bed. Chris Mack has level 2 charges against him. Louisville missed the last NCAA term. They missed they just missed this past NCAA term. They missed 2021 NCAA term. 2020 they would have made, right?
Yes.
But it got canceled. Point is, it is not going well for Chris Mack, and I guess like maybe that's where we take this discussion. Is we can briefly just like, you've sold all of your Chris Mack stock already. Yeah.
Chris Mack was I saw Chris Mack as an 11-year-old. This is in 2003.
When he was 11?
When I was 11.
Okay.
When I was 11, I saw Chris Mack as an 11-year-old. And I, observed him at the camp. He was always very kind. This is Skip Prosser's basketball camp at Wake Forest. So Chris Mack was like, hey, when he moved on to Xavier, as a fan, I would always just pull for Xavier. I'd always pull for Chris Mack. And when the zip him up situation happened, as you know, Titus, I'm on Xavier's side. And look, I'm a public school kid, always will be, always public schools first. But I had like a soft spot for Chris Mack and for Xavier. So, that was just kind of where I was with all of it. And then as time kind of continued to evolve, you see things that are red flags, like encouraging JP Makura to, maybe do some things that were a little out of line, telling him that it was funny that he went at, Mick Cronin.
Right,
and,
which it was. To be fair, it was. But Chris Mack's role should be to like, I hate this, and then like wink behind closed doors.
Yeah, but instead he was like trying to get into the dirt of it. You know what I mean? Which is like, what's going on here with this guy? This is a little bit different than what I assumed him to be, what he portrayed to be to an 11-year-old me versus the reality was always a little bit different, right? And then the big moment for you and I was when he took the Louisville job, because Xavier's his alma mater. He was very content there. I think he was taking that program. They were going to get to a Final Four. Who knows what could happen if they get to the Final Four? They could potentially win a national championship. And then he jumps ship. He leaves his alma mater, which I think I can't even fathom the idea of just throwing away my alma mater and going, no matter how much the money is. Now he's a top 10 coach, paid-wise. Not top 10 coach, the way he actually coaches, but his salary is $4 million a year, which, hey, good job. You jumped up to a new gig. And since then, Titus, I think it's all gotten to his head a little bit, and he has acted. He's acted out in ways that I cannot condone, and that's why you're saying I sold his stock in probably 2019, but I still had a little bit of hey, I hope Chris Mack does well. But after all the Dino Gaudio stuff, because Dino Gaudio also at that camp, great guy. After you do that to Dino Gaudio, an old friend, someone that's looked out for you in this coaching business. It says a lot about your character. And as Bruce Pearl told us, character counts,
Character counts, yeah.
And that's how I feel about Chris Mack. Character counts.
I'm with you. I thought at this point in time, so we've seen 3 years of Chris Mack at Louisville. He's about to enter year 4. I thought at this point in time, it would be clear to me why he left Xavier for Louisville other than just the money. Like I would, because when he left Xavier, you already said it, Tate. It was his alma mater. That in and of itself is enough for you and I. Like if you were the head coach of North Carolina and I was the head coach at Ohio State, we're not leaving for any reason.
No, pay me whatever. Yeah.
If you fire me, I don't think I'm leaving. I think I'm locking the door and grabbing a shotgun. I'm like, come get me, bitch. I'm not leaving.
Yeah, you make me leave.
Yeah, make me leave. But yeah, like I'm not that was a red flag, but I want to give people the benefit of the doubt. And I said to myself, like, I'm sure it's going to be clear to me. Like, I'm sure I'm the idiot. That's like a default that I work on. Like when I don't see something clearly, I go, okay, I'm sure I'm the idiot here. Let this all play itself out. I'm going to look up in 3 or 4 years and I'm going to say, I get it now. I understand why Chris Mack left. He wanted to coach in the ACC. Louisville is now competing for national titles. He probably couldn't have done that at Xavier. Xavier, the Big East has dissolved, and Xavier has found himself in Conference USA or something. And like wow, that was what I thought might. That's the extreme version. But you get what I'm saying. That like. Yeah. Maybe it'll all play itself out that like he knew something I didn't, or like he met with the AD at Xavier and learned something, whatever. And we look up now in 2021, going into the 21-22 season, Chris Mack has made a massive mistake leaving Xavier. I cannot, like, there's no two ways about it. I don't care how much money this man has made. What an idiot.
I agree.
If you're a Xavier
I think
fan,
that's the takeaway. What an idiot. Yeah.
If you're a Xavier fan, listen, I know you're not hot to Travis Steele. I know he's not like the answer. I know Travis Steele isn't probably necessarily a guy that you're like, we had, when you're thinking about the long line of coaches that has been there, Skip Prosser, Thad Matta, Sean Miller, Chris Mack was awesome as Xavier.
I was going to say all of those right there are all hits. Yeah.
All hits. All had great runs at Xavier. And you're looking at Travis Steele and you're saying this isn't quite the standard we have as a program. So like we're not exactly like stomping all over Chris Mack's grave. But some small part of you has to be looking at this and saying, thank God. Like this man in his last 3 years at Xavier, Tate, they are a 2 seed in the 2016 NCAA tournament. They lose in the second round, but still 2 seed, like great seed, like the upsets happen, whatever. The next year they go to the Elite 8.
Yeah.
The following year in 2018, they're a 1 seed. His final season, they lose to Florida State in the second round. But he has a 3-year run where he makes an Elite 8, gets a 1 seed, gets a 2 seed, and none of them are the same season. Like that is a great 3-year run for Xavier. That's unbelievable. He made like 4 or 5 Sweet 16s in his time at Xavier's head coach. This was a made man. This guy was. He could have. We're talking about Mike Brey falling out of favor with Notre Dame fans a little bit earlier. Chris Mack could have missed the next maybe 10 NCAA tournaments at Xavier, and they're still not firing him.
Yeah, no, and they're still like talking themselves into him getting them back to that position. Exactly. Yeah.
He played there. He coached there. He was an assistant there. He was Xavier basketball. That was the face of Xavier basketball. They're in the Big East now. Like everything you would want had happened, and this man stepped away from it all to move to Louisville of all places, which like Louisville's a great town, it's whatever, but like, if he takes the UCLA job, we get it. If he takes the Miami job or something, we get it. But it's like you just want the money? Is that it?
No, I mean
the answer was yes. It's just the money.
Hey there, thanks for watching Titus and Tate. For the full friend of the program experience, subscribe right below and come join us for all things college basketball. The action is heating up. Come join Titus and Tate.